This segment of DelmarvaLife is sponsored by A&A Companies.
You know, when the seasons change, it seems like there is a specific day that marks the shift. And then, well, of course, there's the unofficial start that's usually dictated by the temperature. Now, in case you haven't noticed, yes, temperatures around here have indeed been climbing, slowly but surely.
And as folks on Delmarva know, that summer heat likes to appear out of nowhere, which means we need to make sure our air conditioning is ready and able to keep us comfy. And here to speak on the matter is Mindy Allen Townsend, the Vice President of A&A Companies. Mindy, good to see you as always.
Yes, you as well.
So I want to get an update because we're hearing more and more about this refrigerant shortage. What's going on with that?
So as of January 1st of 2025, our refrigerant changed. I talked about that before, where we were going from 410A to R454B or R32. The government has regulated it, so as of January 1st of 2025, no more 410A units could be produced. So they could sell what they had, but when they're gone, they're gone. So now we're into they're gone, and we have to buy 454 units. The problem is that people drop the ball in the world, and they can manufacture 454 units, but they do not have the refrigerant to sell to put in the 454 units. So we're running into a huge problem. There's not a single HVAC contractor around that can buy any.
Wow.
I have gone to Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina. I've reached out to friends in Texas, California. Nowhere can buy this refrigerant. So thankfully on packaged geothermal units, they already come pre-charged. We don't have to add any refrigerant to those because manufacturers can get the refrigerant. They're buying it in large quantities. Yeah. We cannot get it because there's a shortage in the cylinders and the valves on the cylinders. So they can't take it down from a large quantity into a 20 pound cylinder. So on packaged units, it's not really a concern, but your everyday average heat pump and air handler, your geothermal split systems, we're having to add refrigerant for the line set length. Line set takes refrigerant. That's what hooks to your indoor
From the
piece
units to the house.
to the outdoor piece.
Okay.
The problem is it does, depending on the size of the system, does it take a couple ounces or does it take a couple pounds? Cylinder holds 20 pounds of refrigerant, so in 4 or 5 changeouts, you've burned through 1 cylinder of refrigerant,
right,
and I can't replace that 1 cylinder of refrigerant. So manufacturers are trying to be mindful now because we've all thrown such a hissy fit about it, where they're pre-charging the units with more refrigerant than they should have in order to combat some of the line set lengths, which is wonderful. It's great. However, when you have a 3-story home and you have outdoor units and then you got to run up 2 or 3 flights, that's not enough refrigerant to cover the line set. So with that being said, you know, we're going to come to a point probably here in the next 60 to 90 days where you're going to need a new system and we can install it, but we can't guarantee that there's going to be enough refrigerant to make it work.
I'm glad you said that because I was going to ask, are we at that point now where it makes more sense to replace the unit instead of repair it?
So it really is given the age. Anything over 10 years, you need to start considering replacement, only because parts are getting harder to come by, they're getting more expensive. And in reality, if it is on the radar right now where a service technician or anybody of that nature has told you you need to start considering replacement, you need to start considering it. Yeah. For a lot of various reasons, the refrigerant shortage is one of them, but also it hasn't 100% gone into effect yet, but as it stands right now, we're set to lose all of the HVAC tax credits at the end of 2025. Whew. So that is the heat pump tax credit, the 25C, and that is potentially the geothermal tax credit. So if that's something that's important to you, you definitely need to do it in this calendar year. It has to be done and paid for in this calendar year, because if it goes all the way through, December 31st, 2025 will be it.
It seems very confusing, but I'm sure if anybody contacts A&A Companies, you will explain it to them and let them know what they should or shouldn't do. Mindy Allen Townsend, thank you so much.
Talk to you.